So Canelo Alvarez becomes a free agent after agreeing to be released from his promoters Golden Boy and broadcaster slash streaming service DAZN. So I think the big question here is, what next for Canelo? Will he go down the Floyd Mayweather route of parting ways with his promotional company and promoting himself, promoting his own fights, doing his own deals with broadcasters? I think so. I think it looks that way, and I think he'll benefit from it because Canelo is obviously the biggest star in the sport, him and Anthony Joshua, and you could probably put Tyson Fury in that conversation right about now. So yeah, I think it's good for Canelo, but it's not good for Golden Boy, and it's not good for DAZN. I mean, if you look from Golden Boy's perspective, Oscar De La Hoya can't be happy with this. He's lost his biggest star. Canelo is the biggest star in boxing, and he was obviously, therefore, Golden Boy Promotions' biggest fighter. And now Golden Boy Promotions don't really have much left. Their biggest hope is probably Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, who faces Luke Campbell on December 5th, which has now been postponed for reasons I won't mention in this video because YouTube will, shadow ban the video. But yeah. So Ryan Garcia is essentially Golden Boy's next big thing, and it's essentially their next and only hope for financial success at a similar level to what they had under Canelo, when Canelo was with them. But yeah, it's as much as, Oscar De La Hoya will probably, will pretend that it's not a big deal. It is a big deal, because this is huge amounts of cash that Golden Boy are going to lose out on. And then moving on to DAZN, as a platform, they are losing hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and obviously they are a new business, a new platform, so investment is necessary. You will make losses within your first couple of years of operations, but the losses are at extreme levels, hundreds of millions of dollars. And you look at the Canelo situation, and it seems to be just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I read an article saying that DAZN have now been told to cut spending on boxing, or not cut spending, but stop overspending, because essentially that's what DAZN had to do. DAZN had to overspend to secure contracts with fighters like Gennady Golovkin and Saul Canelo Alvarez. I think Golovkin's contract was rumored to be about $60 million. Canelo's contract, $365 million. So DAZN have had to overspend, but that isn't financially viable anymore, especially in these tough times. So it's not looking good for DAZN, and it makes you think, with the resurgence of pay-per-view in America, especially with the likes of Gervonta Davis coming up, is DAZN a viable option for sports? Is the streaming service route for sports, is that viable? Especially for boxing, is a streaming service the right move, or is the traditional, pay-per-view and sort of Saturday night fight night route, is that more viable? Ultimately, we'll have to wait and see, but my gut is telling me that, unfortunately for DAZN, the streaming service route in boxing probably isn't going to work. Listen, I could be wrong. I'm not Nostradamus, but that's just my opinion. But so what's next for Canelo? Well, there's been rumours that Canelo wants to fight Caleb Plant, who's the IBF super middleweight world champion. But supposedly that fight has collapsed and fallen through, and now the options are either Callum Smith or John Ryder for December, which is it could be an interesting matchup between Canelo and Callum Smith. Obviously Canelo had already fought Callum Smith's brother Liam Smith and defeated him when he was fighting at middleweight, but at super middleweight Canelo will have a serious disadvantage when it comes to size. But as demonstrated in Canelo's fight against Kovalev, size isn't necessarily an issue for Canelo. Canelo is a very skilled boxer. He can use his feet, he can use his boxing skills to make the size advantage of Callum Smith less apparent. And to be seen as the #1 super middleweight, Canelo would have to beat Callum Smith. Callum Smith is the WBA world champion at super middleweight and the ring world champion at super middleweight. And if you have the ring belt, well, you're essentially the man in the division. You are the best super middleweight in the world, essentially. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who should Canelo fight next? I'm going to say Callum Smith would be a good fight. It would be a good matchup. But that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments below, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more content. And remember to turn on the post notification bell.